My name is Sigmund from Otofonix, and we're here today to talk about feedback and whistling in your amplifier. Years ago, feedback and whistling used to be a big problem for hearing aid wearers, but modern digital technology has significantly reduced this problem. Feedback occurs when loud, amplified sound coming out of the ear tip returns to the microphone and is re-amplified. The major cause of feedback many years ago was the big, powerful analog hearing devices together with poorly fitting ear mold in patients with a more severe hearing loss. Today, more people with less severe hearing are seeking help because hearing devices are no longer large and clunky, but more cosmetically acceptable. They do not need as much amplification, and feedback is not as much a problem. But even more important than that is the advanced digital feedback cancellation feature, which is now incorporated in most of the better hearing aids and hearing amplifiers. These devices can actually recognize the feedback and shut it down. Because of this, we can now use open fit ear tips or ear domes that do not plug the ear and make wearing much more comfortable. But even with all that advanced technology, we still get feedback. And most of that feedback is easily explained and correctable. It does not mean that there's anything wrong with your amplifier. Let me explain. Feedback occurs when any object comes in close contact with your ear, such as your hand, for example. When you first insert the amplifier in your ear, you may get feedback. When you go to change the volume or program, you may get feedback. If a hat or a shirt collar or a scarf gets too close to your ear, you may get feedback. All of this is normal and does not require correcting. Your amplifier is not defective or broken. Now, this feedback can also be of help to you. Suppose your amplifier doesn't seem to be working. A quick way to determine if your battery is dead is to cup your ear. If you get feedback, your battery is fine. By cupping your ear, you can hear feedback. You might want to just adjust the volume. If you don't get feedback, your battery may indeed be dead. You want to start your troubleshooting by replacing that battery. If after replacing the battery, your amplifier is still not working, then the ear dome or sound tube may be plugged with wax. This is a very, very common problem. To check this, remove the sound tube from the amplifier and cup it in your hands. If you get feedback, your amplifier is probably okay and you just have wax plugging your ear dome or sound tube. Let me demonstrate. You remove the sound tube from the amplifier, and now you cup it. You hear the feedback. That means that the amplifier itself is fine. Your problem is that your tube or your ear dome is plugged with wax, and you need to correct that. Now, suppose you don't get feedback, and you're sure that you have a good battery in your amplifier. It probably needs to be sent back to us for further evaluation. And lastly, when you first unpack your amplifier and insert a battery, if you get a whistling sound, your volume level is way too high. What you want to do first is reduce the volume to level 1 by repeatedly pressing the rocker switch down. You'll then be able to insert it into your ear without feedback. Then you can adjust it to your comfortable listening level. You might want to start at volume 5 and program 1. I refer you to the user manual, or another video which explains how to do just that. And finally, if your hearing loss is more severe and requires higher amplification, say to level 8 or 9, and you are experiencing feedback, set your amplifier to program 3. We have found that program 3 solves that problem in over 90% of our clients. If it does not, you may want to see an audiologist and be fitted with a hearing aid. I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and thank you for watching.